Oh, I think I got it. Whoa. Yes. Yes, I was just using the wrong things. I'm stupid. So stupid. Facebook. Don't mind me. I'm testing. We are snowed in. We got to make some bass lines. Phone's about to die. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't know if my signal's going to be bad, but let's see if we can now connect this thing. I'll put settings on the Facebook one now. Boom. All right, that's loaded. So now I'll do is I'll go to this thing, activate source, activate source, and auto find and activate. Maybe that'll work. I don't even know. And now I can go ahead and trigger a fake test message. I don't know where. It's weird because this thing used to be able to show the chat doc. Oh, I could have had always on top. Look at that. Alrighty. It is what it is. All right, it's not gonna work, so it is what it is, and we'll kick this show on the road. Let's take the starting loop off. Make sure my video works. Oh, there he is. Super Daddy Diode in the mix. I don't know if any of this works. I can't even see what's going on. But we got the live stream there. We got the live stream there. I'm going to close out a bunch of windows that I don't need. These apartments I'm trying to find. Dude, so hard to find an apartment nowadays. Close out this thing. Load up FL Studio. We're just going to hop in. This is going to hop in. I'm working on this idea. Got the camera moving left and right. Look at that. If I move out the way, it's like, yo, don't move, bro. I love it, Mike. I fucking love it. Do a little back loop while I wonder if you can hear that. Yeah. It looks like that works. I don't know. It is what it is. I'm trying to do this on Wi-Fi because I found that it's it kind of, as far as my Wi-Fi goes and my connection, I'm able to with my two different Macs. I got the MacBook Pro and I've got my Mac here. If you're on Wi-Fi, you can use the same mouse and go through all of them, which is fucking crazy. I just realized that today. I didn't even know that was even a thing. But yeah, it is. It's freaking awesome. But yeah, this is your boy, Super Daddy Diode. It is Sunday, February. I don't even know what day it is, kid. Don't even know nothing. I don't know what's going on with that. But it is Monday, February 23rd, and we're snowed in, you know. We got a blizzard going on outside. It's not so bad actually as far as like the downpour, but the visibility is low, so I understand why we're snowed in, and so I don't have to go into the office today. So I'm here, gonna be chilling out, cleaning. I got some quotes to do for some customers after this is done, so I will be doing some work. However, I gotta make some time and have some fun. I just made myself a dope ass little breakfast, some kielbasa, and couple eggs, just scrambled them all up, put them on the stove, and it's super delicious. Had my second coffee, and I got some clothes in the dryer. Good old Monday. But yeah, let's this episode is brought to you in part by Dirtbox Recordings. I knew it wasn't gonna work. There you go. Dirtbox Recordings, you can catch them on YouTube and Facebook and everything else. Check out Lee UHF and the recent release that we just had, the DNB Essentials Volume 1, curated by Lee UHF, that just dropped. It's got a bunch of artists on there, and it's available in vinyl and CD, as well as your Spotify and all that kind of stuff. So shout out to Lee. You're the man, and I hope you keep on cranking these things out, bro. You can catch this. You can grab shirts unlike this one. This is just a regular around the house shirt, but you can grab gear like this one here on alexdiode.com. Make sure you do that. And let's hop right in and kick this thing off right. Or not. What is going on with all my sources, baby? I don't even know what is going on. Yeah, my title's playing, but it's not on top. What's going on? If you got any tracks you want to submit, please do so for this Wednesday's Whip It Wednesday. And hopefully the title tracks now works. Yeah, it doesn't work. I don't know what's up. Let's double click this and just take a quick look. This is the problem with lives. When we start playback, yeah, it's there. Browse, loop. Browse. It doesn't want to work. That is what it is. This is your boy, Super Daddy Dad, and this is Let Me DNB. Let's hop in and work on some drum and bass. What's up with the fiasco? Hey, what's up, bro? I can't really see what's going on in the screens. Yeah, I gotta let my phone charge, and then I can figure all that out. But hopefully this works. So I'm working on this idea, and I wanted to take a look at something in this. So I got this bass sound from my track called Skank. I think I've loaded it up into this Serum number 17. So we're just gonna go ahead and shift and just rename this to Skank. SKK. Reese. So I made this Reese kind of on accident, kind of on purpose, but it worked out for that track. It was just like a filler Reese, but I happened to be working on a bootleg here, and it's the same fucking sound. So why the hell not? And I made this from scratch. Like I was all by myself, and then and then I decided to work on a bootleg of this track, just for my own knowledge and for me to learn. It wasn't like I was trying to copy or anything else. And I don't personally like bootlegs of drum and bass songs, especially the ones that are fairly recent. Like maybe if it's like an old school song, by Total Science or stock a Skynet from way back when, or, even some Bad Company stuff. Like I know, Chaser, I think made a few really sick ones. It's dope, but this one I just did for my own learning. And then I was like, you know what? I'll just make a playable version and maybe share it for free. So grab that if you want, when it's done. But in that, so the original is Noisia and Emanu's Shift. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and give this a shot so I can learn a bit and just learn like as far as like the drums go and like how they manage their file or their drum patterns with their bass lines on that particular song. Cause I just love the drop. The drop on that original is sick. My drop isn't as good, but it's fun. But we can hear that, and then I wanted to go into looking at this sound here, Skank, because I wanted to talk about phasing, and I'm sure there is some phasing in this one. So let's hear the whole thing in context, I guess. I haven't heard it since last night, but let's hear it now. Well, not the whole thing, just to build up to the drop. Let's make it louder. Yeah, okay, so that's what I got so far. And let's see if I can actually make this a little bit bigger so I can see the chat. Japo, what's up, bro? What's up, man? You snowed in over there? How much snow you guys get? So winter wonderland out here, but I don't like it. I'm not into snow. I'm not into the cold. I cannot wait for it to be done. But this is what I got so far. These headphones sound a little crunchy as of late. So when I hear it on the monitors, it doesn't sound as crunchy as here. So I don't want to mess with the distortion much more. But you guys can tell me if it sounds good or not. But that's my my drop is that there. Let's do this. And then I went in that second little drop. I wanted something. Sounds kind of like I don't know. Up with the fiasco. I hear you, bro. I hear you, Ben. I'm like down to go see something cool too, man. I want to be inspired. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go out to a night where dudes are playing and like some of your favorite artists are on there and just fucking inspired to all get out, you know? I love that shit, man. Just going out, listening to like Ed Rush or listening to Black Sun Empire and just hearing that kind of sound, man. It's like, especially whatever they're testing, it's fucking awesome, dude. Maybe I won't do that. Or maybe instead of doing that little choppy bass, I won't make it chop that much. And maybe this one, I'll clone this one and make a better layer for the stab. Maybe I'll clone this one, change the sound just slightly. Instead of having it just be a stab, maybe a longer sound. I'm getting a weird issue with the bass sound on that sound. That's what I gotta stop, is this randomization. Now I can take a look at my bass and see if it's, yeah, it's a little better than how it was. I'm going to clone this one. So I'm going to take a look at the sound real quick. And I want to see how bad the phasing is. So I'm going to load up a span. Span from this one. I have a preset that I made called Diode 2.1, where my sides are in red, my mid is in green. And you see this correlation meters going all the way to the center, and even peeking to the left. That means my sound is fucking way out of phase. Therefore, when played in a mono setting, the mid bass range will be completely gone. So I've got to fix that. So I'm just going to move this span down in that same channel, and without affecting the patch at all, really, I'm just going to do some EQing using Pro Q4. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a node here where around where this is hitting in that range. So obviously the bass I will mono. So I'll change this one to mid side. Where are you, buddy? Right here in this node here, I'll just change this to side, take the bass out around that amount. And then that same mid side node, I will simply click on another portion of it to create a new node. And I can see this thing is like actually using, yeah, I can use this in dynamic mode and bring that down. And this here is at, let's see, 159 hertz. So I'll go to 159 hertz here, right around right there. I'm going to dip that down a lot more. Bring the Q up to make it a little bit more, and make it a little bit more narrow, but change the band slope to around there to kind of cut a chunk out of it. And that was after. And that's before. So you can see that it's doing work just on the side. So I'm going to do the same thing with a new node around here. I'm going to change this to slope of 42, make the band a little bit wider, and then I'm going to bring the dynamics down so it controls, but I'll bring the spectral dynamics, and then I'll use this little compressor here and not control all of it to keep it interesting, but I'll control some of it. And then with the high end, I'll do the same thing where I will just bring down the dynamics using dynamics, bring it down around 2 dB. And now you can see that my correlation meter used to be, if I take this off, all over the place. Now it's It still drops to the left and right because of the phasing and the sound and the unison and all that, but it's a whole lot less. So now when you're working in you're doing this and you're working in your Gorgonzola, what's up? Titan DNB, what's up, bro? Joseph, you're freaking out work? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, so just doing this with your sound, EQing the sides out will help the phasing issue. So when you're playing it in a mono system, you don't lose the power of the sound. Now, in addition to that, because you're bringing the sides down, you're actually losing a little bit of volume. So what you can do is be kind of specific with these same frequencies. And in the mid section here, grab a node, set that to mid, raise it. If you're bringing it down 4 dB, raise it 2 dB. I'm going to do the same thing, actually, probably overall here, and just leave the high end alone because the hi-hats can sit up there. So the volume should be around the same, and then the perceived volume should be the same. But your phasing will not have an issue. I can tell that when I put it to mono, I lose a little bit of the high end, so I can add another node in the mid. Just to bring that presence up a little bit more, and it should not be too harsh. And if you want to add a soothe to this thing just to control some of that crunchiness on the high end, make it slightly smoother, not by that much. So this is before, phasing like crazy, did my EQ and my soothe. Maybe it's a little bit too narrow at this point. However, it will work better in the mix, and in the club sound, you won't lose the power of your sound. Sashito, what's up, bro? What's up there, kid? Sashito, best of luck, man. I really, God bless you, and I hope you have a phenomenal trip, man, this weekend on the real. And I still got to look into that prime thing. I will. So anyways, let's go back to this drop and see what it sounds like. I think I got to work on using this sound. Possibly. I don't know why I called it pad. The drums sound weird. I'm gonna go ahead and maybe I'll take this snare bus and I'll sidechain it over the tops, sidechain to this track. I'll bring I won't use duck, I will use, let's use compactor. Use compactors to sidechain input 3 and 4. Go to settings, processing, aux, snare bus. Yeah, now it's more powerful, letting the snare breathe a little bit more. I'm not sold on it. Maybe I'll do I'll just start cutting this thing up a bit. So another thing I do is I tend to like chop up my bass lines. I'll write a bass line and then I'll chop it up. Kind of like sampling, except I don't sample. I should, man. I was just talking to the homie Quasi Science last night about that, where I need to I really need to like resample my sounds and then work from my samples, but I'm not the best at using like VSTs to or doing a lot of post processing to bring the sound back to sound clearly. But I got to reverse hits do amazing shit. Yeah, the thing is, like, sometimes when I resample, I'm the type of producer where it's like I may be working on sounds and I realize that the sound itself is got to be fixed so the tonality and the actual presence of it comes out more. So I might change something on the patch itself. When you're locked in and you do it with a sample, you're fucking locked in to that sample. And then if it's not right or if you got that ADD, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't work. But yeah, so Joppa says he doesn't resample a lot either. But I think, like, you know, if you're bringing it back, so like I re-chop. I mean, I chop, which is kind of like the same idea, except I still have control of the original patches. But you know, if you're just doing like a sound session where you're just like making sounds and you're recording them and then you make a bunch of samples out of it, I mean, that's probably the best way to go. You know, like I think that is, yeah, I think that's probably one of the better ways to go. And you can simplify your mix downs, you can simplify your tracks so you can get them even more presence in your song. But I just don't have that skill yet. I'll be working on that though. Let me turn this. There's a weird thing I have in thermal here. I might just take that off because it's bugging me. So if I go to thermal, in this patcher I got going, I have thermal. So patcher, if you're using patcher, you can do the same, pretty much the same exact thing in Ableton. This thing's going slow. I don't know why. It's because I'm in patcher. Maybe patcher is not the way to go. Maybe it's not that. Yeah, there's something in the sound itself. Yeah. Oh, I got something going on with this filter here, which is causing for that little delay effect. That's bizarre. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, that's. It's weird because I like the. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay, all right, cool. Now we're back. Now we're kicking with gas. Let's go ahead and go back to some whatever here. Ooh. That's nice. Nope. Mm. I'm not sold on that either. That's way better of a drop. Maybe what I'll do is make unique something a little bit meaner with this section. I'll clone this one. Control X, Control V, and see what I can make for a. All right, let's see. Close. so now let's go ahead and take LFO3, control the main tuning, pitch that up, set that to whatever, leave that down like that. All right, cool. So I got that. Now let's make a new Serum. Let's see what we can make from this thing. Find a random. Bring this. I'm gonna go ahead and just do 2. Control the wavetable position slightly. I'm going to go ahead and set this to Venn plus. I'm going to take this here, bring this down, and do PD from B and see what that sounds like. Kind of like the idea. Let me now bring this down. I'm going to go ahead and add a regular sine wave. I'm going to PD from A. That sounds fucking hefty, but this is just to layer over everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut the low end. I'm gonna add a filter above, actually after that filter, set this to diffuser, bring the stages up, just set the cutoff to whatever. So it's a little bit more wet. Add distortion. Maybe I just do like a regular tape saturation. Nice and a little bit meaner. Let's do compression. Bring the high end down, bring the mid up. Set this to a new track. I'm going to go ahead and just bring this track over to the bass. This is going to be bass layer. I'll just bring this right into the bass group. And I'll see if Rift will help me a bit here. Crunch it. I don't know if I'm sold on those. All right, so now I want to take this. What am I doing? Wrong one. I keep thinking like I'm in Ableton, and then when I'm in Ableton, I use the wrong freaking shortcuts for FL Studio. Oh, man, I'm a mess here. Maybe I'll pitch this up. I like that sound though, but I'm gonna make this one unique, make unique, take one of the layers off, Control X, maybe bring it over. Sample, save that, take this. Maybe I'll do, I like all this like that. Maybe I'll just keep this going. Move this over. And I'll take the hats from the original drop and all that shit. Just keep it going, I guess. I bet you this has the same issue with my mid side, so I can tell. Let's see. Actually, it does not. Yo, Ted Danson, what's up, bro? Yeah, so what I'll need now is me see if I can find like a perk sample of some sort in my regular packs. Let's see here. Maybe I know that this Tantrum Desire pack I bought forever ago now. Now it's available if you freaking sign up for whatever services. Now you get it for less, but it's actually pretty damn good. I don't know where the hell it is. It's been a while since I've used it, but I'm sure they've got some really good drum fills in here. Percussion loops. Let's see, percussion loops, drum fills. This track is in 172, so I have to be aware of that. Or maybe I don't do that. Maybe I'll just set up like a new pattern. We'll call this one sequence drums. I don't know. Let's see what we can come up with. Insert here, and I'm gonna just make it in Serum, I guess. Serum 2. I know there's like some pretty good drum things from the factory, so let's see if there's like a drum or like a sequence drum kit. I thought they had some. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Okay. But I don't know is how to go into it and change the sounds. I haven't dove that far in yet. Oh, and the clips. Oh. It just reminds me of like old school shit, but I'm not going to use clips at all. Turn that off. What I'll do is it's a good kick. That reminds me of this Boss branded drum sampler that I had in high school. I let somebody use it. I never got it back. Like at the end of high school, I think, to transition to college or whatever happened. I forgot. It was good too, and I don't remember where I got it from. Or maybe I borrowed it from somebody. I thought it was mine. I don't recall. But it was dope to have. All right, cool. So we got that. I'm gonna load up a filter and just LFO that thing. I'm gonna add EQ, cut the low end out. I'm going to add a filter. It'll be a ring mod from miscellaneous. I don't know what this is going to sound like at all. Well, we're going to try it. Do I have a gator? And a transient shaper. I think there's a ring mod in here. No, I'll take that off. What I gotta do is go back into the sound itself. The EQ is too low. Yeah. And the ring mod. Yeah, I want that. Okay, I want it like that. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna go ahead and render and replace. Cut remainder. Take this now and normalize it. And this is what it sounds like. It's kind of cool. A little different. But I wanted to raise up. And I'll keep this here. Boom, 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 boom. And take these and copy. Yep. And then I'll do I wish I had like an auto filter like in Ableton, but in this case we're gonna do decapitator. I barely ever use this thing. Yeah, I keep it without it. Let's go with a filter. Create automation clip on the low end. Turn that on. Insert Control G for this one, like that. Bam. go ahead and do a, maybe a pitcher will do good. Oh, where are you? Pitch shift, shifter, and probably bring this down 3 semitones. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Before that, and all right, so that's kind of cool. A little bit of congas. Is my master empty? My master is empty. I just got a loudness meter and a soft clipper on there. Really nothing going on as far as the mastering goes for this stage. And if you can kind of hear that it's not like mixed down properly just because I got a soft clipper on there. Let me remove that with just like a regular clipper. And even like even the on the actual drums, I would the drums actually are not clicking through that well. And it's just because I just got a sample, not a actual drum hit. Maybe I can create one real quick. Let's go ahead and add a freaking people calling me when they're not supposed to be. And let's do the snare. Add a Serum. And there's maybe I just do a quick one. Quick snare, quick cheap snare. Let's go to the LFO of this one, do Shift Option to bring this all the way up. Yeah. Boy, boy, boy. Dude, are you kidding me right now? Okay, so now I'm going to take the body of this, make it nice and tight as well. And then add some noise. Let's see if I can find like a, yeah, just a regular noise will be fine. Cheap snare. Cheap, quick snare. And if you want to see what it looks like, go ahead and drag this here. And that doesn't look too bad. So I got a little bit of a clippier transient, I think. Yeah. Oh my God. One thing I don't like about FL Studio is when you zoom in, you can't really like zoom in correctly. So weird. Just looks weird. But it works. I'll take this. take that, put this into a new track, bring this over to the drums, to the snare. I'll bring this to the snare bus. And hopefully, oh, it doesn't sound as good. Let's see. Snare bus. Because my pitch is off. Huh. Which one is off? Yep. Yeah, it sounds better on the... Yeah, it sounds a little bit clippier. Okay. Let's leave it the way it is. Oh, God. Oh, God. Gotta love FL, but at the same time, I don't... What I can do is I can take my snare bus and sidechain it into the drums, because I know that's what the issue is. I'm going to sidechain, into the bass, I'm sorry. Sidechain to this track. Take a Pro Q4. Make sure if you're in Ableton, just choose your sidechain in from your snare, and that's what I'm going to do here for my snare bus. And you can see where the snare hits here, and we're going to take this and actually set that to dynamic and into sidechain. So that one's in the stereo field. I'll do the same thing with this one. However, I'll do this in the sides. So I'll bring down the sides of the bass line when the snare triggers. I think the snare just needs a better snare layer on top of it. Maybe I can find something from these one-shots from the Tantrum Desire pack from, well, way back when, kicking snare one-shots, and well, that's cool. But that's not what I want. I want drum one-shots, and go to snares. Going to EQ the low end out a little bit and then bring the sides up around 2K. Yeah, that sounds really good, I think. Yo, there he goes, the king of the Whip It Wednesdays. Dude's got a new whip each and every week. Hopefully he's got one for this week. Maybe we can use last week's, so I didn't do it. But this Wednesday night on Let Me DNB, we'll be listening to some Whippity Dippities. You know how it is. It's the worst when people call you and they're not supposed to be calling you. You know, go call your friends, people you confide in. Don't call me anymore.
Consciousness in mind, in consciousness in mind, in consciousness in mind, in consciousness in mind, in consciousness in mind, consciousness mind, consciousness mind, consciousness mind, consciousness mind,
That sounds really good. Okay, so let's keep that going. Let's take this out. All right, let's take that. I'll cut this right here so I don't use it again because I don't need it right now. And I'll do the same thing with all of this stuff here. Block. Alrighty, that's that. Take all this, just save it for later. And I will drag this over. And now I got my little setup here where I can just shift that, copy that over. And then I will make like a simple, and I don't want to do a call and response kind of thing because it's like sometimes they can get old, but we'll do something to that extent. Unique. Take this one. Make this unique. Bring this up. Nice. I wonder if I can find like a funk guitar sample in E. Let's see. I like FL Cloud's sample pack library. Sometimes it doesn't want to load. Sometimes it does. Let's see if it does. Oh, it's probably not gonna freaking load today. Oh yeah, there it goes. Some really good sounds in here. But let's see if we can find like a funk guitar. Let's just hit enter funk. And do instrument and do guitars. And let's do have it already in key if they have it. Maybe I'll do that in this piece here. God, stop calling. Maybe like a... Great drums. I'm going to save those for later. Sometimes you just get like stuff you don't want. That kind of works. A nice little funk sample. Let's see if we can modify the sound. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and do some modifications to this. Let's add a distortion, riff. Let's see what riff has for some cool crunchiness, growl bass, FM meter. Let's try it. Nope. Nah. Let me go to like just regular grit. Yeah, something like that. That's kind of cool. Let's load up thermal. Hit control save here because I feel like this shit's about to fucking crash, baby. We load up an EQ. Take a look at what's bothering me. Yeah, it's right there. And then this frequency is bothering me. And then I'll learn I will load up stab. MSED. It looks fine there. Let's load up another riff. I wish I had erosion in here from Ableton because you can get some nice white noise distortion on it. But in this case, I don't know what to use for that in here. That's kind of cool. Got a little funk to it. And then we'll do the original. Take this one, make unique. Make unique. We'll stretch this one out actually. this unique, take this, and take this bass line out, X, and Control V here. Nope, I meant here. That's not the sound I wanted. X, Control V here. Yeah, that's cool. Let me just hear this without the headphones. I don't like that one. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I don't know, but yeah, let's call it a dooski. Let's call it a dooski. I will be back in a little bit, and let's go ahead and go to the monologue. If that works, it's not gonna work right now because this thing doesn't want to work the right way, because I don't know what I did, but I gotta fix it. Yo, this is your boy Super Daddy Dial. This is that thing we call Let Me DNB. A lot of things didn't work today, but it's all good because I had a really good time making some drum and bass for the last hour and a half or so. We'll get back on this, but I've got to do some stuff around the house, and then I got a conference call to take at, I got to do some work, and then I got a conference call to take at 2:30. And then get back to it. So yeah, this is your boy Super Daddy Dialed on Monday, February 23rd. We got the blizzard, tizzard skis. It's a beautiful winter day out there. it is what it is. It is what it is. But you can catch me on this Wednesday night on Let Me DNB. If you guys are there, please come through. Send some of your whips through if this will work. Send some of your whips through on alexdio.com and make sure you do that, because we'll be able to go ahead and listen to some of that stuff, and yeah, we'll be able to listen to some tunes and all that good stuff. But yeah, this is your boy Super Daddy Diode. I'm out. Peace. Sorry, the freaking screen is like moving way too fucking much. Can't catch me. Can't catch me. Can't catch me. Oh. I'm out. Peace. Stop streaming.